Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make an Olive Garden restaurant in Minecraft for all of your city building needs. In this tutorial, not only will I give you a step-by-step tutorial on how to make the entire outside of the build, I will also show you how to make the entire interior as well. Fun fact, I'm hidden somewhere in the intro of this video. Let me know down in the comment section if, where and when you spotted me. The first person leaving a comment guessing it right will have their comment pinned. I have made it particularly difficult. This is the amount of space required to make the build, a 28 block wide by 33 block long area as represented by this very handy grid on the screen. To find the starting position, begin at the front left hand corner of the grid, count backwards, find the 10th block, and then to the right and find the 3rd block. This is where we start. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Begin the build by placing 9 light grey terracotta in a row on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then extend forwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then place 8 smooth sandstone on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Extend to the right by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Extend down almost to the ground. And then on the ground, connect back down with a light grey terracotta. Extend backwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then to the right by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We then want to extend towards the back of the build by 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Next, extend the terracotta to the right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Destroy a block in the ground. Place an orange terracotta there instead. Jungle door on top. And then 10 light grey terracotta extending right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We then want to extend inwards by 10 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we can simply extend to the right, line up with where we very first started, and then we can just join back to here. Next, let's build up the walls. On top of this block, place a row of 5 smooth sandstone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Return down to the bottom, place a smooth sandstone to the right, followed by 3 black stained glass pane. 1, 2, 3. Add another layer of glass on top of the glass, and then place a row of smooth sandstone extending right and then forwards to the entrance. After that, we can build up the rest of this wall using the smooth sandstone until it is the same height as the row of 5 that we started with. It's also worth mentioning that we should place an additional smooth sandstone above the center of the window here, and then we can just extend it both right and then forwards like this. Now we will do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So on this corner we will place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smooth sandstone. At the bottom, we will extend left 1, place 3 glass, 1, 2, 3, add another layer of glass on top, and then we will build out this wall using smooth sandstone. So we will just extend across and forwards until we have extended each one of those 5 blocks, like so. Now, we will line up with the middle of the window, come up to the top, place another smooth sandstone, and then extend left and forwards, just like so. Next, let's work on the actual main entrance itself. To begin, we will just extend the left and right side 1 row inwards, so the terracotta and smooth sandstone, just like so. Then, we will also extend these blocks 1 row backwards. We will then add 3, 1, 2, 3 grey terracotta along the insides of those extended rows, with a layer of black stained glass pane along one of these rows. And then we actually have to make a little bit of roof for the entrance, so we extend some spruce slabs out from the top of the grey concrete and then out along the side, and then we just want to extend these blocks up and then join them together like this. And then we can stick some smooth sandstone behind these slabs, and we can just fill this giant gap in with the smooth sandstone. Directly above this area, there is a sign that just reads Olive Garden, and to make that sign, we need to place 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of brown concrete directly above the entrance roof. And then we also have to mark out the roof itself. So we will place a spruce plank here and here with spruce slabs extending out from the planks. We will then extend these slabs and planks 1 row forwards using slabs. And then we will extend the planks upwards and inwards using slabs until they reach an apex like this. We can then fill the underneath part here in using smooth sandstone like so. And we also just have to extend these smooth sandstone blocks upwards as well. And we can extend the planks backwards. They want to overhang the sandstone, and then we can just fill these gaps in using slabs. And then we can just join them together. As a matter of fact, we just have to join them here because we've already extended 1 row across the back. And then we can just fill in between these in using the smooth sandstone. I think that will do for now. Actually, maybe 1 row lower. Otherwise, I think we'll have a small gap in the roof. That is the structure of the main entrance pretty much complete, which means it's now time for us to move on to this right side, where we will place 2 smooth sandstone extending along this terracotta, 1, 2, and then 2 black stained glass pane, 1, 2, 3 sandstone, 1, 2, 3, 2 pane, 1, 2, 5 smooth sandstone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 glass pane, 1, 2, 3 more sandstone, 1, 2, 3, 2 glass pane, 1, 2, and then a smooth sandstone. Then we can just extend across the back here, and then we are just going to start here because I don't know the measurement from the door. From here, we will place 1, 2, 3, 4 smooth sandstone extending towards the door, and then 2 black stained glass pane, 1, 2, and then I guess it would have just been 4 anyway. But there is a window right there that is apparently equidistant from both the door and the end of this wall. We can then extend our smooth sandstone forwards and along to the side, and then here we will place 1, 2 smooth sandstone, followed by 2 glass, and then 3, 1, 2, 3 sandstone, 2 glass, and then 2 smooth sandstone. And here we have marked out all of our windows. So my recommendation is to add another layer of glass on top of every single one of our glass blocks. And once you've done that, we can just fill in between all of these in with smooth sandstone. So it's quite safe for us to just make rows of smooth sandstone that are 5 rows high. So as long as we don't surpass the front wall there, we should be fine, because the shape of the roof is very particular. It's quite a weird shaped roof, really, and if we make some bits a little bit bigger than they should be, then we'll, or at the very least, I will start getting very, very confused. So if we just line up with the front of the build here, However, before we start tackling that roof, we are first going to remove all of the grass block from inside of the build. And we will replace it with orange terracotta. Next, let's work on the roof. To begin, we will place a layer of spruce slabs on top of this raised part of smooth sandstone. And then spruce slabs here on top of this wall, which we will extend to the right, or one row hanging off of the build to be more accurate. We will then extend this spruce slab back and up until it is equal height with this row here. We will then extend and join these blocks together at a right angle, and we will also place a row of spruce slabs here as well. And we can just join these down, and we can also extend these blocks in to fill in any gaps, and then we can just place a row of smooth sandstone along this wall to conceal underneath the roof. As on the back of the build here, we will place a spruce slab in this position, extend off of the building, and then we will extend in and up until we are half a row higher than the smooth sandstone. Then we can just connect to the front of the build, and it seems as though that we just have to extend off of the back of the building as well. We then want to extend our spruce slabs across to the right, hugging the building, overhang one row, and then we can start extending up and in, just like this. And then we can extend all the way forwards, like so. We can add a layer of spruce slabs on top of this raised part of the build, and we can add our row of spruce slabs on top of here, hang one row off, and then we can start extending back and up until we equal the height of this part of the roof. We can then just extend inwards at a right angle, and then we can extend our spruce planks here. we can hang a row of spruce slabs off here, join here, and then we can place spruce slabs here, overhang the side of the build, and then extend in and up until we equal the height of the rest of the roof, and just join forwards like so. And then we can add our smooth sandstone underneath that part of the roof, and it would seem underneath here as well. I think we just have to extend to there, and then that way we will extend these slabs in, and then I think that the rest of this will just be covered up with some planks. So yeah, right to there. That's perfect. I'm just looking for gaps now in the roof because I think that we're at the point where we can quite simply just fill the entire top of the roof in using spruce slabs now. So I'm just filling in any of the outer sections. We've just got the slope here to do at the back, but that's just a row of slabs and then planks. And then we've got this little section here at the front. I'm basically just making a big square or rectangle, or rectangular square, just like this. And now we can just fill the center of this in. It's really nice and simple. That is incredibly satisfying to see for some reason. However, we're not quite done. That is only one aspect of the roof. There's another. We want to leave in total one rose gap from underneath this part of the roof, so half a block, and then underneath here, place a spruce slab. We then want to place a layer of spruce slabs that extends all the way around the building, connecting from one side of the main entrance to the other. Below and in front of this, we will place a layer of spruce planks. Then we will add a final layer of spruce slabs along the base of the spruce planks. Then we will place spruce fence extending down from, would it look better from the slabs, or would it look better one row inwards like this? So underneath the planks. I think I actually prefer it a bit more forward. We are placing the spruce fence connecting down from these slabs to the ground either side of the windows on the front of the build. So here, and just line up with the edge of the windows here, and here, like so. Maybe we could do a little bit of it on the side of the build as well. So I'm thinking just at the edge of this window, towards the front of the build, and then this is why it doesn't necessarily work, because the windows aren't symmetrical. But if we place it here, so 1, 2, 3, 4 rows inwards, and it's the same on the front, so 1, 2, 3, 4 rows inwards, and then that way they're kind of in the same position, at least along the side of the build. And then we can do a similar thing here on the back. So maybe we'll place them, say, 2 rows inwards from the edge of the build, so here, and also 1, 2, so here as well. I think that looks pretty good. And then I don't want to place any here because there's a car park, but we could place them 1, 2 rows inwards here, and 1, 2 rows inwards here. As I mentioned, I didn't have these on the original version of the build, so hence why the grid doesn't quite match them, but if you do have the room, I think that they make a nice little addition. Next, we are going to make the small staff car park that is in the back corner of the build here. So to begin, I'm just going to remove this row of grass and grid and replace this with regular stone. I'm then going to remove this row here extending towards the back and replace this with smooth stone. I'm then going to place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ferns here, just like this. And then I'm going to place the same over here as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. And remove the rows in between them. And we will split this in half with white concrete. And we will fill these spaces in with a grey concrete. Then yellow carpet at the tops of the bays. Then we will remove this row here and replace it with smooth stone. Then we will remove the grass with white concrete here and replace this with cyan terracotta. And those are pretty much just the car parking spaces. In addition to this, we will have large ferns extending all the way along these windows here to the main entrance. I got stuck somewhere, and we want the same thing on this side too, but there's a few more, so all the way along here and up the side of the build here. And then we can remove this, so basically the grid leading all the way to the front of the build, so directly in front of these ferns. And the fence, we'll just remove this on just both sides, as it does need removing anyway. Replace this. So along the front, we're going to have just regular stone. And I think that we can safely just fill all of this in with stone. I'm going to admit, the fence is getting mildly annoying. It always seems to be in the way, but that's fine. Considering the fact that I've done it to myself. And then along the back of the build, I just want to have smooth stone for some reason. I don't know why we're mixing things together, but I like the effect of it. So that's pretty much the sides of the build complete. We just have to make the front. So on the front of the build, we're just going to remove all of the remaining grass and grid. That's step 1. At the very edges here, we can place 2 rows of stone, just extending along this empty space. We then want to fill this gap in here with stone as well. And we will add a row of stone here and here. And then we will fill this middle section in with stone. And then we have to split this area in two. So we'll place a row of white concrete with grey concrete either side. And yellow carpet at the top here. And then we will split this area in two with a row of white concrete and grey concrete either side. Then yellow carpet at the top of the spacers. And that is looking very nice now. Next, we are going to add 2 large pots here with flower pots inside and then ferns inside the pots. And now there's no more putting it off. We have to make the Olive Garden sign. Throw down a loom, open it up, brown banner in there with white dye. The first letter we have got to make is O. This is the Pale Dexter pattern, Pale Sinister, Chief, and Base. Next is L. This is the Pale Dexter pattern, followed by the Base pattern. Next is I, which is simply the Base pattern, or rather, the Pale pattern. Next is V. This is Pale Dexter, and then Ben Sinister. Next is E. This is Pale Dexter, Chief, Fess, and Base. Next is G. This is the Pale Sinister pattern. Put brown dye in. Apply the Per Fess pattern. Put white dye in. Base, Pale Dexter, Chief. Next is A. This is Pale Dexter, Pale Sinister, Chief, and Fess. Next is R. This is Pale Dexter, Chief, and then Ben. Next is D. This is Pale Sinister, Lozenge. Put white dye in there. Apply the Pale Dexter, Chief, and then Base pattern. Next is N. This is the Pale Dexter, Pale Sinister, and then Ben pattern. And lastly, we have kind of like a logo to make. So, brown banner, green dye, apply the Pally pattern, followed by the Ben pattern. And that is just kind of like random enough that it kind of sort of looks good. Next, we take our banners and we start applying them here. So O, L, I, V, E, drop down, G, A, R, D, E, N, and then the logo banner. And that gives us this. With the sign complete, we have officially completed the outside of the build. It's now time to head inside and work on the interior. Step 1. We will place a row of stripped oak wood extending from here all the way over to this far wall here. We will then place a stripped oak wood here in this corner, here in between these two windows, here. We will then place one here, and here, and here, then here, in this corner, in between these windows, in this corner. We will then leave a gap of 1, 2, 3, stripped oak, 1, 2, 3, stripped oak, then a gap of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, stripped oak, then a gap of 1, 2, 3, stripped oak, and this is what we should have. So you can see how these are all kind of placed evenly apart except for this area here. So, next we are going to place smooth sandstone extending all the way up to the ceiling, but honestly, not quite all the way up to the ceiling. So, the goal is to place the smooth sandstone on top of the stripped oak wood, extending up about as high as here. And we also want to leave where we have the only row of 4 stripped oak wood. We want to leave this clear, but we can place smooth sandstone on every single other stripped oak. So we're just going to move around the room and do exactly that. And now it's looking a little bit different. This looks pretty good. So next we can place oak shelves in front of the exposed light grey terracotta. The only part, again, where we kind of don't want to do this is here where we have the row of 4. We also have to be able to enter this area as well. So directly to the right of, by the way, this is a bar area. Directly to the right of the bar, we will have a hallway here. As a matter of fact, we can make a little bit of it if you guys want to, why not? So the hallway is 3 rows wide. So we want a row of light grey terracotta here and a row of light grey terracotta here, and this just gives us a nice amount of room to actually walk through. And then we will place rows of smooth sandstone, again just kind of like rows of 4 smooth sandstone. We're going to build a bit of a false ceiling slash a more interesting ceiling than is here currently, so we don't necessarily have to just extend it all the way up. So this is looking pretty good. This will then allow us to place the oak shelves along the base here. This does present a minor problem at the back, but I'll tell you what, we can actually circumvent this by grabbing the stripped oak wood. We can place it here and here, and then stick the sandstone on top. And then that way we have a nice congruent... Have we missed an area? We have, all the way over here. I guess we were making the way our way around, but this is a hallway. We'll come back to this later because there's a few things that have to go back here. But we can continue placing all of our oak shelves. This makes a really nice trim for the base of the room. So here, and you see, so here's another predicament as well, but not really, because we can actually replace this terracotta with an oak, like so, and we can also just fill the top of this in, but we don't have to go all the way up to the top. We'll make a false roof inside of here. We might start it at about, so we want painting here, and then we'll leave a gap. So we'll make a false roof, kind of like this. Here, so we'll just use these spruce slabs for this, and that will look good. And we can either connect this, maybe we'll connect it into this room. We'll see if this works, but I think that, yeah, that feels really nice, and we'll have the painting on these walls as well. So this room is shaping up rather nicely. I think it's about time that we start placing some tables. So all the way over here on the left side of the restroom, we will place a row of 1, 2, 3 oak stairs here by the window. And then here as well, 1, 2, 3. We will have 2 rows of oak fence in front of the stairs. And then oak stairs on the opposite side. We will then leave a gap of 1, and then we're just going to make the same thing. So stairs, fence, and then stairs. And then we can top the fence with white carpet to look like a tablecloth. That is perfect. And then from here, we have to add some oak slabs above the windows. So they go here. So they are literally just like half a row's gap above the windows. And they continue here in between all of these rows of smooth sandstone, just like so. In addition to this, we're going to have to add some more smooth sandstone. So we'll add smooth sandstone here that stretches from one side of the build all the way to the other. We'll also fill these little gaps in here just above the window. So from here, and we also want them to extend from here all the way across, just like so, making sure that we've got no gaps. Oh, we just have to fill these in. That is absolutely perfect. And from here, we can suspend chains and lanterns. So we will do that in between these tables. And we also have to do it here as well. So that means we just have to place a row of smooth sandstone just across the top like this. So chain, lantern, chain, chain, lantern, lantern. And this looks really good, by the way. Like, this really starts to really add some depth to the walls. And then beyond this, we can start adding some spruce slabs like this. So we can add slabs in such a way that we extend up to the top of the ceiling like this, and we can just place sandstone here on the sides, and this adds a really nice shape to the roof. Now some of these blocks, let's just grab them, which are planks. So these are planks, these are planks, and these are planks. So we'll place the spruce planks first, and then that will make it just a lot easier after the fact to place the rest of the slabs. So they're the planks, and then we can just get the slabs in between. Mr. Plank there. And there we go. That's a nice. This feels really nice in here now. And we should also get the tables on this side of the room placed as well. So this side of the room is ever so slightly different, as we have to have access to this hallway. But we will place one table here against the window. Once again, it's just a row of 3 stairs, fence in between, white carpet on top. And then same here as well. And we want to have a table here too, so we'll have the stairs, 2 rows of fence, stair on the opposite side. And that's looking pretty good. So we're not going to have a table here, only because it'd go right here and literally would obstruct that hallway. We will, however, extend this pillar in between this set of tables. So we'll extend the wood and the smooth sandstone to here. I think that's concealed nicely. We also have to add the slabs as well to the top of the wall. So here, across here as well, we're going to have to add some more smooth sandstone, aren't we? So here as well. And then it's just got to slot across here, but we can just remove the necessary blocks. That is absolutely perfect. The only thing that we could add another... So if we're keeping the sense of depth, which I am trying to do, we just need to extend the sandstone just one more row, and that just looks so much better. It's just such a small improvement, but we can then add the chains and the lanterns. There's not a room for a lantern here as there is on the opposite side, unfortunately. We have to add some paintings though. So the paintings go in kind of like logical places, so a 1x1 here, the same thing over here. Possibly one here as well. So technically speaking, it should go like here in the middle of this, but it'd look a little bit weird, so we won't do that. So here, here. I wouldn't really like repeats, but I'm not willing to spend a load of time making sure that we don't get them. So we will also... It would have been nice to continue this into here, but I guess it doesn't really matter. We can have paintings on the wall here as well, just as we walk in. Okay, that's absolutely perfect. So all of the tables are made. Kind of. There is actually one here. First, we will place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 stripped oak here in this position, with a lectern here, book and quill here, brown glazed terracotta here, oak leaves here, and we'll stick some flower pots on top. We will then place 1, 2, shall we just go for 2? 3 is a bit much, so we'll just go for 2 stairs here, oak fence in between, white carpet on top, and then just something to stock the flower pots with. So I always go for ferns, they're my favourite, I don't know why, they're not even particularly interesting, but I do love them. Then moving behind the bar, we will leave a gap of 1 and then place a row of light grey terracotta, and we'll add the same here as well. And then we just have to build up these side walls with smooth sandstone. We can create an entrance here into the bar, and then directly behind this, we are just going to place rows of stripped oak wood leading all the way up to the ceiling line, which is just directly above here, as a matter of fact, isn't it? So we'll just use the spruce planks for this, and then there we go, that's perfect. We can stick an oak shelf just here, and we actually need them here and here as well. As a matter of fact, why don't we... So, we're just going to reduce the height inside the bar here, just using the spruce. Yeah, that works nicely. And then, bring us down here, flower pot here. We want a painting here, what is happening? We want a painting right here. No. I'm looking for something that works perfectly. We're going to stick some end rods here in front of the bar, some acacia pressure plates on top, and then you can kind of stick whatever, like on the actual bar itself, like item frames with drinks in them and stuff. And speaking of drinks, just going to place a couple in here, but we're going to stock this bar area with different colours of potions. So on the left, I've kind of got a bunch of potions in like the greeny sort of spectrum, and on the right I have kind of like the yellowy, orangey, browny spectrum, and I think that looks pretty nice as is. So the bar looks good. As a matter of fact, I think that we have completed the entire front portion of Olive Garden. By the way, this is one of my favourite restaurants that I've designed. The interior, I absolutely love this. Next, we are going to head into this hallway, and we have to make some toilets. So we can actually hop in to the toilets without digging ourselves in. Step one, we are just going to make a wall. So this is the very middle of the toilets. We should have 4 rows this side, 4 rows this side. We can then split this wall up by placing a row of smooth sandstone. The entrance into the toilets is here. So as we dig from the outside, it's on the left side of the room, and we leave a gap of 1. So here we leave a gap. This is how we enter the toilets. So that is both of them. That leaves us enough space for us to add. So in our rooms, we are going to place a 2x2 square of stripped oak wood like this against this wall, with an upside down smooth quartz stair here and a spruce trapdoor here. And then we can actually have a regular facing oak door here. And then on this wall, or actually it might be better suited here, we will extend the light grey terracotta forwards, and we can place a hand dryer on this wall perhaps, kind of like just here, with a flower pot here. And then we can stick an item frame here. This is going to be a mirror banner. We will make that in just a second. And then just a candle or two to look like hand wash. And this is pretty much the toilet. This is really, really simple. I'm thinking we could have a painting right here, like a 1x2, something like that. This, I think, fits the vibe the best. And yeah, this is nice and simple. This is what we're looking for. So let's make this banner. Throw down a limb, open it up, light blue banner in there with some white dye, and apply one of the bend patterns, followed by a gradient pattern, stick black dye in there, and apply the ball jaw pattern. And then we can just replace this placeholder, and that's looking pretty nice. Okay, guys, I don't know what your opinion on this is. I was thinking about reflooring the bathroom, but does it not just look nice with the orange terracotta? Does this not just look better? I'm even thinking about replacing this toilet right here. I know that toilets are white, so maybe I was thinking about placing a cauldron to like have an old school sort of vibe, but I don't think I'm going to. I think that this is perfect. I don't think I want to replace the floor. Well, anyway, we're going to do this in this room as well. Except the difference is it's mirrored. Meaning the toilet goes right here, which is unfortunate because there's a window right next to it. And then we are going to build up the side of the stall with the stripped oak wood. Oak door here. Sink here. So mirror here. Candle here, or candles. Flower pot here, hand dryer here on this wall facing, and then just an item frame right here. And again, it just looks nice and simple. We can even add the painting. So we could go for the cowboy, or we can just go for that one since it's my favourite. And then the ceiling inside of here, I think we could have like a row of spruce here, then here, and then here. So we've kind of got like a regular sort of ceiling. I think that might feel a little bit better, and we'll do the exact same thing over here as well. So here, here, and then just these 2 blocks. And in addition to this, we also have to add a painting out here too, just in between the toilets, because I'm obsessed with putting them wherever I can. Next, we have to make the entrance for the kitchen, which we are just going to make opposite the painting that we just placed, so it keeps this hallway balanced out. I think I'm going to remove the painting, to be honest. So this is going to be the entrance to the kitchen. We will extend this light grey terracotta to this wall, and then we will place smooth sandstone on top, just extending all the way up to about here. We'll take care of the rest of this a little bit later. And then in this room, we are going to stick a 2x2 block of iron in this corner. We will then place a couple of blast furnaces here and a cauldron here with stone stairs like this. We, in the middle of this room, kind of want an island. So we'll have a 2x3 row of light grey concrete like this. And we do also want to place some polished blackstone pressure plates on top of these blast furnaces. And then on this wall, we will stack a 2x2 square of the pale oak shelves, and we will stock these with various kitchen implements. So I'm just going to do a bunch of these. Next, we'll stick a brewing stand on here, a flower pot, a couple of item frames, iron bar here, rail here. I kind of want to turn this into a bookshelfy sort of area, so hopefully... No, that's fine. I thought I just created a real problem there. This could actually be a pantry. Maybe this could be a pantry. I didn't consider this. I might need time to think about that, but I didn't even think about that. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe we can even do it here. So we can have these bookshelves here like this, and then like we can walk in here and either side, maybe we can have some produce. But okay, so we want the bookshelves here, and we can have, so bookshelves and then chisel bookshelves on top. And then in here, maybe you can have like a trapdoor here, flower pot here, stick like a mushroom in here or something. Maybe like on the floor we can have like a melon, item frame here. Maybe we can have like another trapdoor here. Unfortunately we can't place anything on it. And then maybe we can just have something similar to the side as well, or maybe just like another freezer or fridge freezer type of thing. Maybe just stuffed away in this corner. I think that that'd look pretty good. Maybe stick a lantern here so it's nice and lit up. Yeah, I think that this is a nice little pantry. And then for these item frames, I suppose we can stick like mushrooms in here or pumpkins in here or something. Or maybe we can even just stick a straight up pumpkin on here. Does that make any sense to have pumpkin? Probably not, right? Maybe we'll just have a bunch of mushrooms. And honestly, this is looking pretty good. I don't want to overdo this. So I'm thinking maybe we jack some of these spruce slabs, and we could make a small roof inside here. Let's see if this is appropriate or if it has to be a bit taller, but I think that this might look pretty nice. This whole sort of restaurant to me, anyway, feels kind of like cozy, and I think that if we keep the... Yeah, that feels good. I'm going to keep it like this. I like this. You can stick chests in the corner and stuff and what have you if you like, but I'm going to leave that like that. Oh, okay, so we've done the ceilings in here. The only place that we've not done it is here, but once again, I think with a couple of rows of spruce slabs, I think that works out very well. And we've just got to stick doors everywhere as well. But you know what? Why don't we just use the jungle doors for everything? Kind of fits the vibe. There we go. And I do think with that final detail, I think we've actually made the entire thing. With that final detail added, we have officially completed this tutorial. However, this video is not over. We must now add our Olive Garden into our city. I really think that Olive Garden fits the vibe of Old Town, but unfortunately it's just a bit too massive for this area, I think. So unfortunately, for now, we are just going to place it in the new suburban suburbs storage area. as it's also a good fit for this general sort of area as well. If you've got any ideas on where I should put this, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys think. You may be interested in becoming a channel member. You can click the join button that will be somewhere on the screen right now. This does cost money and is a monthly subscription, but you do get some perks. The first of which is a download link for my city design world. This has every single build that I have placed in my city, arranged in order, and labelled. This perk also comes with schematics for the mods Lightmatica and World Edit, so you can easily reference and copy and paste these builds into your worlds in any way that you'd like. However, if you're not interested in any of that building business, the highest tier allows you to download the most current version of Minicity. There are also some minor perks, including loyalty badges displayed next to your name whenever you comment something down below on my videos. Depending on how long you have been a channel member, you gain a more prestigious helmet, with the highly coveted gold builder's hat being the most valuable. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.